Good morning, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It's Monday, so it's Poetry Day. Let's start off with this. It's by Jalaluddin Rumi, called Fringe. You wrecked my shop and my house, and now my heart. But how can I run from what gives me life? I'm weary of personal worrying, in love with the art of madness. Tear open my shame and show the mystery. How much longer do I fret with self-restraint and fear? Friends, this is how it is. We are fringe sewn inside the lining of a robe. Soon will be loosened, the binding threads torn out. The beloved is a lion. We're the lame deer in his paws. Consider what choices we have. Acquiesce when the friend says, "Come into me. Let me show thy face. Let me show my face." You saw it once in pre-existence. Now you want to be quickened and quickened again. We have been secretly fed from beyond space and time. That's why we look for something more than this. Okay, finally, the last of our disappointing affirmations to begin August. I hope you've enjoyed them, but it's back to toxic positivity at this point. Always be true to your authentic self, unless you want people to actually like you. So that's what I have to say to my disconfirming affirmation friends out there. All right, we're still talking to our people who are journaling. Some people love to write it down with stream of consciousness, just blurt it out and see what your own mind has to say. What are you building in your life? And what blocks you from your goal? What obstacles present themselves along the way? Let me know what's going on for you. I'll be glad to share what's going on for me. All right, now, first and foremost, I always honor my teacher, BKS Iyengar. He's basically a traditionalist as well as a revolutionary. And as a traditionalist, he spouts the yoga doctrine, which says the purpose of yoga is to unite the individual soul with the universal soul, unite the body with the mind, and bring them both together into this serenity of the spirit within. Yoga is definitely not a religion, although sometimes it's associated with the Hindu tradition, but it gets you involved in virtuous action, which appears religious. It's not exhibitionism. Doesn't matter how flexible you are in the Cirque du Soleil poses. It's non-denominational. Doesn't have you hooked to a specific belief system in a deity. And it teaches you the difference between boga and yoga. Yes, boga is where you enjoy the fruits of health, the pleasure and the fruits of the world. That's great. But once you begin yoga, your mind goes within, towards itself. Now, I've learned from my rabbi, as you get older, you have to transmit what you know to the next generation. And we need to change faster than ever before. So especially for my old friends out there, if you can't be a new person, you continue to drag your old self into the brave new world, it ain't going to work. You're going to be outrun and outdistanced by the younger people. You'll be pronounced redundant and unable to make a contribution to the evolution of our planet. But that's not who we are, is it? No, no, no. So we understand that you live on the edge, that's where change is happening, and you find the center where it's still. Everyone is facing a crisis of meaning now, and the length of your life doesn't guarantee or confirm meaning. But I can tell you one thing, if you want to have vision, you can't do it by just looking out for number one. Creativity and inventions always happen in the nick of time. So how you bring you forth from yourself that which is new. Now Rinpoche, from the Kargil lineage, who I had the great fortune of being at Boulder during the time he was giving his lectures at the beginning of Naropa in 1974. He always reminds you that the guru's devotion to the student is compassion, and the student's devotion to the guru is discipline. Learn to identify with the path. The phenomenal world is the guru's message incarnate. The voice of the guru. Messages are everywhere. You can't get away from them even if you want to. And they have in their own way a magical quality without any kind of astounding gadgetry or trickery. Just life itself is miraculous enough. So everyday events themselves are the teaching. And life, as a self-existing mandala, is here to give us the opportunity to embody the teaching. So remember, if you're going to dissolve your patterns of resistance and allow pattern and enhance patterns of allowance, you'll be a leading edge creator. Follow the path of least resistance. And remember that we're both a transmitter and a receiver. So if you want to get the reception on channel 106.2, but your tuner is on 97.8, they're not in sync, it ain't going to happen. But when you are in touch and aligned with your own frequency, watch how everything that is good flows easily into your life. And then just remember karma. What a person sows, they shall reap. So your belief system is part of what you sow. And to believe anything is simply to accept it as true. And then it's done unto you as you believe. Pay attention to that, because you're setting yourself up for good or ill. All right. I'll be mentioning this for the next 2 weeks. I'm beginning a 3-week series of therapeutic classes at Chai Yoga Shack, 1942 North Levitt, on Saturdays the 16th, 23rd, and 30th of this month. They're 3-hour sessions specifically for students who come in with injuries or learning how to work an asana that doesn't feel good, and more important for teachers as well, not only because you're a student, you have your own things to deal with, but how to learn to body sight, give hands-on adjustment, and help people with back pain, neck and shoulder pain, or hip and knee pain. Hope that you'll join us there. Have a great day.